Hey, this is Jared. So recently I rewatched Tenacious D's The Pick of Destiny because they uploaded it on Netflix a couple of weeks ago now. I am a huge fan of Tenacious D. I think I've purchased everything they've ever done, save perhaps for this movie. But I do like the movie. It's hilarious. But I want to talk about really quickly the one thing in the film that doesn't work. We're talking here about a film in which Jack Black and Kyle Gass, Tenacious D, are searching for a supernatural guitar pick forged from the tooth of Satan himself. A film where, in order to steal said pick, they break into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame or some equivalent Hall of Fame, and Jack Black uses his to turn off a laser security grid. A film where they battle Satan and turn one of his horns into a bong. All of that said, for me, the big conceit in the film is the idea that you can get any useful information at Guitar Center. Okay, so that's the punchline. But in the film, they go into Guitar Center to get some information about the Pick of Destiny, and Ben Stiller helps him and has all of this information about it. And I don't know if you're a musician or ever been to Guitar Center, but the idea of anybody working there having useful information like that, I mean, the only way that I would believe it is if they got all that information from Ben Stiller and then later on they find out the pick doesn't exist. That sounds like a real Guitar Center experience. I'm sure all of the people over there mean well, but they are musicians, and I'm a musician, and I don't know if you ever talked to a musician. We're idiots. We are idiots. Just to give you a few examples, so I'm a guitar player primarily, and I'll give you some examples of what I call guitarist logic. So there are these things called effects pedals. This is one right here. It is called an effects pedal. The purpose of this object is you plug your guitar in here, the other side goes to your amp, and it affects your signal. It sits in between the two and changes. You change these little knobbies and it changes your signal. It affects your signal. And guitar players say, I want effects pedals. I want to plug into pedals that are transparent and don't mess up my tone. Tone is the guitar player word for the sound that your guitar makes. So what they're saying is, I want something that affects my sound but doesn't affect my sound, which doesn't make any sense whatsoever, especially because you'll get a bunch of these in a row. Guys will have a whole pedal board with 20 of these things all strung together, one cable from here to the next, to the next, to the next, 20 of them in a row, and act like your tone is not affected. These are people who say, don't plug your bass into my guitar amp because it's an octave lower than my guitar and I don't want to break my amp. But oh, by the way, have you seen my pedal that drops my guitar 2 octaves, right? And don't come at me with pickup impedance and all of that stuff, because if all of that was really a consideration, then you wouldn't think twice about changing the pickups on, you would think twice about changing the pickups on your guitar, which you don't. People swap out their pickups on their guitar all the time without worrying about the pickup impedance and the effect that has on their amp. Guitar players are people that drive themselves crazy with things like, I want a warm sound, so I got a mahogany body guitar, but I want a bright sound, so I got a maple fretboard, but I don't want it too bright, so I replaced the capacitors in my tone control, but I want a mid hump, so I got a tube screamer and I got that mid boost going on. But I like high end, so I turn my high end all the way up on my amp, but I also like a lot of warmth, so I change the speakers out and the tubes, and oh my God, we drive ourselves crazy with all of the stuff that we do. And this is what you face when you go into a guitar center. Somebody who is actively trying to sell you things, and that's fine, that's their job, but they coming from this place of misinformation to begin with, and then they're going to tell you whatever you want to hear that you agree with in order to make a sale. So actually, I say all that. That was really just a narrative setup to say I love that movie, but I hate Guitar Center. Thanks for watching.